This is criminal summoning. That's impossible light activity. And that's also amplification of audible activity while demons are stalking in an emergency vehicle. And as you'll be aware of, the fake sun is right outside of my window, which, let me just go ahead and show you that. This is impossible light activity that's appearing. And they're also engaged demonstrating demon possession. They sound sirens, meaning they're already stalking in place, just like the entity does with helicopters. They're already stalking in place, not going anywhere. Those are demons that are just doing this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Oh, she's recording. Let's cross path now with sirens. That's what the demons just did right now. That's why it started as I started this video. I'm already getting my videos, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm aligning my videos that I'm about to show you on a screen recording, and as I do so, the entity immediately starts sounding sirens, aware of what it is that I'm documenting, aware of what it is that I'm preparing to, and that's because they are monitoring documentation. So not only is this impossible light activity, not only are they stalking with the creation of audible activity using sirens, not only is that evidence of the fact that you're already stalking in the path while you are stalking with the method of audible and light activity, not only are you telling with regard to the presence of the light source, here is the fake sun that is, again, at a location that is movement from the video that I just captured. It was approximately 6:28, I believe. So let me show you, this is the light source that you see outside. This video is captured probably, 6:28 p.m. I just want to show you the migration. Here's the fake sun. All right. And here it is now where it is movement, and it's larger. And it is, and this is from 6:18 p.m. This is 7:03. You're seeing the fake sun that is rising in size. This is, first of all, not the sun. It's impossible light activity. It's not outside of a bedroom window of Alvarado Gardens apartments, which you also know isn't the sun because that same apartment is where the sun rises in alignment to my living room window, and that light source never moved. It stayed rising and setting in alignment to my apartment. This is while the entity is group stalking by the people, while engineer light is moving all across the asphalt, while engineer light is on the hotel room wall, showing what is, let me be clear, the presence of the light source, which is piercing through the side of the building that's facing Myrtle. And right now you're looking at what is the light source that has grown in size, that's moving farther out this direction. That is the apprehension of Satan to show what it's doing with the fake sun while it knows that I'm going to capture it. And then you have the demons that are monitoring documentation, Title 18 criminal conduct, while they are engaging in more criminal activity in concert with the people. This is ongoing pacing. So I just want to be clear. You're looking at how this light source just grew in size. All right. And it's growing by movement. It's going from being right here at the edge of the building to now it's farther out in alignment with the street and directly aimed onto what is the wall, and which originally, don't forget, with the entity. And all I'm showing you is what is very rapid movement, but non-movement, big picture, non-movement, because this is the same property where it's at in the morning. But you're going to look at what was 6:28, starting this video at 7 o'clock, at 7:02 p.m. precisely. And it goes from this size, okay, creating this light activity on the wall, the shadow of the, the shadow of the, you could see the window the chain that you used to pull up the blinds. You can see the shadow of the chain, which is speaking to the light horizontally shooting. The light source itself is very small. The fake sun doesn't go anywhere. It stays at one property all day long. That's how I'm able to capture it 10 hours, 11, 12 hours later at the same address. But you also have is a very rapid movement into the street and a more direct angle. So I just want to point that out to you. These are demons that are pacing, and this is the people of the state that are group stalking. And so, as I stated, the entity that is filling the hotel room, those are demons, and this is engineer light. It's also impossible light activity, while that which is supposedly the sun, the light source in other words, is remaining stationary at Alvarado Gardens, which is speaking to what the people of the state at Alvarado Gardens apartments, that entire apartment complex is indeed going to federal prison, just like the employees of TOWNEPLACE Suites by Marriott are going to federal prison, while they're engaging in the identical pattern of conduct of federal group stalking and monitoring. The entity is doing so pursuant to real-time knowledge of what it is that I say and do. That's how I have the ability to capture what is, or that's how the demons, rather, the state actors who are group stalking, providing an admission against the people, demonstrating their demon possession, while they are stalking with audible activity creation, aware of what, in other words, what I'm doing on the phone. This is Title 18, criminal conduct. And as I press record and preparing to press record, while they are aware of what I'm physically doing, the demons that are sex offenders monitoring, engaging in the elements monitoring while you pull your panties down, are the same demon-possessed group stalkers who engage in more criminal conduct, the deranged mindset, the demented decision-making, the mental illness that is manifest by demons who are stalking, opt to engage in more criminal conduct to their own demise while they know that they are being fully exposed with evidence. So we're going to engage in more criminal summoning, which is a direct criminal act. You have the entity that's engaged in an identical pattern of conduct, and I'm showing you the light source. I'm showing you the engineered light. This is the same building where I'm speaking to the maintenance of the light source. So in the morning. So this is what I captured. First of all, you're looking at that migration in a more direct manner, and a matter of what is 30 minutes, but you're also looking at what is the duration of time of 12 hours, and the fake sun is still at the same address. That's what you're looking at, big picture. What you can see through the two videos, 6:28 p.m. and what you see that I captured right now is the light source that is remaining over the same location as I'm looking at it outside of the window that faces Myrtle. So just so that you can see that, this is the building, this is the building that is, I don't know why it's not opening, hold on one second. This is the building that is on Myrtle, so let me show you that. Here it is right here. This is the side that I'm facing, this right here. This is TOWNEPLACE Suites. This is the street that it's facing, and you can see the street sign. It is indeed Myrtle. This is where you see where the palm trees are. The fake sun is in this location, right here at the street. And this is where you can also see where the palm trees are. This is where I'm standing at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the fake sun is over me at this portion of the parking lot, which is right adjacent to this street right here, Myrtle. This is the intersection of Myrtle and Huntington. I'm capturing this light source through this window of the the fourth floor, through the hallway, and the entities showing the fake sun through this hallway window at 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. And I've captured video right now, 6 p.m. This is the same apartment building, and you can see it through the window of the same hotel building. And that's the duration of time, which is speaking to non-movement of that which is not the sun. And it's also, not only is it not the sun based on duration of time, I'm still looking at the light source while I'm looking out of the window facing Myrtle. You're talking about the fake sun has to go out of its way to bend to be around in a position to see it through this window that's my hotel room on Myrtle. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, it's through this window, which is the hallway, where the entity provided a demonic light show, just like you saw on the walls inside of this apartment building. This hotel building is 109 hotel rooms and 5 floors. And you have what is, by virtue of the video evidence, showing what is from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 11 hours right there. And I want to show you what it is that I just showed you evidence of. While you're looking at the light source, you are witnessing the outward demonstration of demon possession by the government that does no service to the people of the state, who are also independently demonstrating demon possession while they're group stalking in the specific environment, living in the specific environment, working in the specific environment, traveling through the specific environment. This is the same condition by every person that's at the hotel, maintaining presence in the hotel by buying rooms. The entities engaged in what is ongoing demonic methods of monitoring. So while you're engaging in relevant positioning by working as a demon-possessed third party, state surveillance is such that everything and anything that you're doing at the facilitating venue where a fake sun is present, from 8 a.m. until after 7 p.m., the fake sun is present at the venue at 12:39 p.m. And it's directly over the hotel. The entity is engaging in, this is a demon who's maintaining criminal presence, stalking in the path. And this is just one example because she represents what all of the employees are doing, what all of the so-called patrons are doing with the state that you hear engaging in criminal summoning. Demons stalking with light activity, audible activity, the use of sirens, doing so with knowledge, with simultaneity as I am preparing to capture video. That's what demons do with that knowledge. They're stalking, and they're also engaging in surveillance online with communication devices. The entity does so through the people of the state that live at the that work at the venue while engaging. This is actually surveillance. This is surveillance, and the demons engage in what is presence in the hallways, presence in all the rooms all around, stalking with method of noise, and that is through the walls. Okay, it's the same conduct that the demons of inside of all the adjacent rooms. It's not different from the demons that are going in, supposedly cleaning the rooms, engaging in the creation of amplified audible activity, which is also pursuant to a rhythm of what I do as I do it. As I start recording, as I start uploading, as I make any physical movement, so the demons are making noise, and everything is extraordinarily loud. When I'm walking around, when I'm opening and closing doors, there's no earthquake. There's no rumbling of the ground. There is nothing that's creating any substantial activity, that's creating any vibration. There's nothing that's going to disturb you beating on the walls. I don't have any bowling balls. There's nothing about the television volume that's going to be penetrating through these walls as though they're paper thin. There's nothing about driving in traffic that's going to cause the windows of the building or the walls to vibrate. This is the environment of demons. That's the specific environment. The demon possessed that work at the venue are engaging in criminal conduct with the state that uses planes and helicopters and stalks with the use of sirens. That's what they're doing through the entity. And that's exactly what I documented. It's already on the record, screenshots of what is criminal surveillance, while the entity is harassing through the demonic methods of audible activity creation, while the demon's also engaged in what is stalking via criminal summoning. This is what the workplace is in this workplace, TOWNEPLACE Suites by Marriott, while you have what is capturing impossible light activity inside of the venue, and then the entity is group stalking by those under the age of majority, engaging in Title 18, which you can recognize through the use of a communication device, but they are engaging in Title 18 as an entity. Group stalking by minor children, just like you've seen at Alvarado Gardens. One demon after another, both over and under the age of 18, while keeping a fake sun and engineer light in the environment. This is absolutely impossible light activity that coexists with presence in the path. This is where demons are stalking with what is presence in the path, and this is again relevant for RICO charges. This is how a government is practicing criminal surveillance with the people of the state that want to be recognized as legitimate, as operating a business well within their privacy rights and constitutional rights to do so, and it is everything but that, while the entity maintains a specific environment. This is the parking lot that is adjacent to Myrtle. This direction over here, these are the same palm trees. This is Myrtle over here. You're looking at the fake sun after 7 p.m., which is on this side of the building. My hotel room is facing on this side, and you're looking at this fake sun that's over me while I'm facing the same street. The Myrtle is just on this side. Okay, just on this side. So I'm I'm in the parking lot, standing adjacent to my car that's parked in the parking lot. This is the same hotel. This is captured at 10 o'clock in the morning. Demons are giving evidence of their demon possession and recognizing the state that is demon possessed while group stalking with the demons who are the people of the state, many of whose names and identification are as readily identified. The federal government will continue in an investigation and identify the state that's group stalking now in Monrovia, California, in conformity to a pattern of conduct. Okay, so the entity is maintaining a fake sun that's essentially at the same position. This is 10 o'clock in the morning. This is where the fake sun is, adjacent to this hotel, in order to be seen at a vantage point, which I'm looking out of the window at what is 6:28 in the evening. So let's look at that light source again, because you're looking at the same position. I'm looking out the hotel room window, and I am standing and facing this is the engineer, there's the light source, okay? And this is captured at what is 6:28 p.m. This is what you're looking at here. This is Myrtle Street. This is Myrtle. And in the morning at 10 o'clock, what you see on the bottom here, back here behind, this is the back of the building. This building right here, this is the back of the building. This is the location you're looking at. This is the street that you can see here. That's what this is. This is the street that you can see here. And I'm standing there essentially in the same location, the same building, the same location, duration of time. And this is just one because I want you to see the video. That's in the same hotel as well. This is 10 o'clock in the morning, and this is, let me be clear, what you're looking at is the same location of the fake sun at a different time of the day. For the fake sun to be at this position, it's at the same position. Well, you can see where I'm tapping on the screen. It's right here. And this is 10 o'clock in the morning, 11, 12, 1, 2. Let's again look at the time. Hold on. Yeah, we can count that together. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you're mindful of what you just heard upon starting this video. Those are indeed the demon possessed who are in the shoes of the government while stalking. Okay, not the genuine emergency, which there is no genuine. I'm letting you know about the stage that the demon possessed are standing on, that they rely on. Not only are they demon possessed, they're engaged in a massive stalking surveillance system, which is why that which is not even the sun remains over where I am at all times of the day. And also, while I'm showing you what is engineered light, it's not even sunlight that from this from this location would create any sunlight inside of the hotel room. This is impossible light activity while I'm showing you the light source that's outside, speaking to what's not the sun. And it's also not sunlight that would come through the window. It's on the side of the building, and it's piercing through at an angle to horizontally shoot through the window and appear on the wall. This is exactly what I documented with regard to stalking with the fake sun at such an angle at what is Knights Inn on Hope Boulevard in Ontario, California in 2019. Where the entity was engaging in setting the fake sun over the Social Security office, which is the property adjacent to the Knights Inn venue, where the Ontario Police Department, the Ontario Fire Department, and AMR, American Medical Response, were engaging in the identical pattern of conduct that the demons in MONROVIA the demons in MONROVIA and the people of the state are engaging in here. Understand, a city, a county is nothing other than state action. This is the entire state of California's criminal system. I'm only one person. I can only be in one place at a time. And while I am showing a pattern of conduct as I go from place to place, it's an identical pattern of conduct. And the recognition of that pattern of conduct is evidence of what is the demonic. Okay, so evidence of what is demon-possessed stalking conduct, and also what is readily identifiable as demonic activity in that demonic environment. And so this is, let me show you, I was referencing the engineered light that's on the wall. This is impossible light activity. I'm laughing because this is what I mean. The demonic is not intelligent. Okay, so the engineered light is appearing on the wall. This is the P.O.C. You can see the shadow of the chain that you pull the blinds up with. That's the shadow of the chain there, which is speaking to light that's shooting horizontally as opposed to the sun that would not be adjacent to the building. Okay, that would not be at the same location that this is the same location that it's at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, at 10 o'clock in the morning, it's just on this side, and you can see it while I'm looking out of my hotel room that's facing, this is Myrtle over here, and I'm facing Myrtle, and you can see the fake sun on the side of the building, and that is supposed to be the explanation for what is not even sunlight, and it is unintelligent in every regard. Not only do you have this, but you have the juxtaposition of crime scenes, meaning the fake sun that's over me on, what is today, the 27th. There's documentation showing where the entity is maintaining a fake sun on this day in 2022. There's a documentation of what the entity was doing with this light source that's supposedly the sun. Okay, the demon possessed want to contend that a paranoid schizophrenic is claiming that they're being group stalked. That's what the demon possessed would like to contend. And let me be clear, it's successful when the government that's controlling the narrative kidnaps you, oppresses you, defames you, and keeps you in a state of what is permanent oppression where you never get to even represent yourself. And also remember, the status of the ordinary target individual is such that they're overwhelmed with the demonic, with this psychotic and what is this criminal pattern that is highly malicious. And it reasonably causes the ordinary target individual to question their own sanity because they don't even know what is that's moving all around the walls. Like, and why is it that noise is always occurring with every move that I make? How come you start noticing these things? Like, how come there's no, every time I move my arm, or every time I'm awake, every time I wake up from being asleep, or every time I sit still for a moment and then I randomly move, immediately noise is occurring. Every time I strip naked, there's a round of applause, like I was describing earlier. That's the demon possessed who is revealing that sex offender, okay, that knows what you're doing physically. They also engage in recording you in your private space. They record you outside of your knowledge and consent, obviously, and they also like to watch you obsessively on the dark web while they're group stalking you and wanting to outwardly appear as though there's something normal about what they're doing. When you were reminded about the group stalkers, that includes a whole family while they're group stalking under a fake sun. Because that's what this is. This is demonic pacing one after another, crossing path. It is the P.O.C. under that, which is not possibly the sun. It is in the same position where you're looking at it here at 10 o'clock in the morning, that it's at what is 7 o'clock in the evening. And that's what you're looking at here. This is 6:28 in the afternoon. excuse me, 6:28 in the evening, and I started this video. Started this video at 7:02. The fake sun is in the same position. It's even larger than it is now, and you're looking at that immediate. That 30 minutes. That's an immediate. That's quick. With regard to the duration of time, though, you've got from 10 o'clock in the morning until 7 p.m. That's stationary presence, but you've got rapid change in the position, the size, the location of that fake sun. These are the patterns that I want you to also pay attention to regarding the demonic and regarding the real-time knowledge of the entity that is group stalking. But it goes beyond this, because I want you to recognize what I captured even before 10 o'clock in the morning. And this is what the entity is doing on an ongoing basis, where you have the fake sun at one end through the windows of the venue. This is all engineered light through the windows of the venue and these are demons that are pacing, and this is giving you the demonic context behind what you're actually looking at. So this is one demon crossing path after another. They're pacing and they're walking in engineered light, in the same way that these are demons pacing, and they're pacing in engineered light. While demons also participate in that sounding sirens, that's the state's engagement in the demonic system of federal group stalking and monitoring. The people of the state are going to be prosecuted. Everybody paying for their stay, everybody on the surveillance cameras, everybody living in relevant position, the people of the state that live in relevant position, they're group stalking, they're going to be prosecuted. Okay, the entity is engaging in this pattern of conduct, and I want to show you what is the light source that I'm inside of the same hotel in the morning. That's non-movement of what is not the sun. The sun is not a stationary object that remains present at one address, one ecological location all day. That's not the sun. Okay, so I'm showing you what is captured. Yeah, this is 10:58 in the morning I've got earlier than that. The entity is maintaining the light source, and we can review that video. So let me just show you that. That's the impossible light. That's Chase, the third-party group stalker, who's going to be prosecuted acting in conformity to the state's pattern of conduct. So the entity is group stalking, and as they're group stalking with minor children, which is what I document here, the people of the state are maintaining the elements of monitoring, group stalking via minor children, while you're looking at the engineer light inside of the hotel as though that's the sun and sunlight, and it's at 8 o'clock in the morning. And here are the people of the state group stalking via minor children, engaging in a sex offense. This is actually what the government is doing and the people of the state do regularly, engaging in crossing of path and audible activity creation. Walking, running in the hallway also does not create amplified audible activity. Demons do that. But not only that, I'm capturing what are the elements of monitoring, and the entity is doing this at 8 in the morning, and I walk down the hallway to show you the light source. First of all, you're going to recall, let me give 1 second. Let me set up this scene so that you can look at everything and be fully apprised of the reality of what you're looking at. This is the light source that is outside of my hotel room. Facing Myrtle at 6:28 in the evening. This is the fake sun that is seen through the same hotel window that is facing the intersection of Huntington and Myrtle at what is 8:24 in the evening. You just saw the people of the state engaging in a series of federal offenses, including that which is sexually violent with minor children, which is routine for the government, routine for the people of the state that are practicing federal group stalking and monitoring as a way of life while this secret system of surveillance is underway. And it is the work of Satan. Not only do you know that because of pure duration of time, 8 o'clock, I'm looking out of the window that faces Citizen Bank. This is Huntington, and this is the intersection right here of Myrtle. Hold on, so it doesn't zoom out. This is the intersection of Myrtle. This is Huntington. That's Myrtle. Okay, my hotel room is facing Myrtle. I am inside of the same hotel building at what is 8 o'clock, 8:24 in the morning, ending at 8:37, facing Myrtle. This is the same street. Okay, my hotel room, as I showed you, it's feet away from this. I walked right from my hotel room that's facing Myrtle to the hallway. This is the same location, in other words. I just walked down the hallway to show you engineer light. These are demons that are stalking in a hotel, working, engaging in the system of surveillance with the government that you heard sounding sirens while they maintain real-time knowledge of what I'm doing on a communication device. What I'm also doing physically nude in the apartment, engaging in surveillance. A sex offender does that. Engaging in corporate invasion of privacy, a population of demons, keeping you under surveillance. And their real-time knowledge of you is also demonstrated through their engagement in the elements of monitoring. They are indeed demons, and they are also engaging in demonic activity while you're looking at the supernatural. That the sun would ever be, first of all, in alignment to me. Understand what this is. This is maintaining alignment. And it's also shown to be present at 8:24 in the morning on the bottom, and this is at 6:28 in the evening at the top. I'm inside of the same venue. This is the same venue. All right. And not only that, you're recognizing and remembering the engineered light where this light source is present. And it is not a naturally occurring light activity. As you can see, nobody that's driving in the same way when I'm showing video outside of this hotel window, no one that's driving by, there's no light that's ricocheting off of their cars onto the window, onto the walls inside. It's impossible for any trajectory of light to engage in that. But I caught video showing that. It's direct evidence against the very same demon-possessed entity, including that which you heard sounding sirens. There is no fire department. There is no demon-possessed EMT. There is no police department that's escaping prosecution for federal group stalking and monitoring. What the entity does all together. Okay? That's what the demons do. They act in packs. And I also have demonstrated that that's why the unnatural environment is present, because they are engaging in a system-wide method of surveillance, and it's entirely demonic. Recall what is the impossible light activity that I captured. The demonic show to the entity's own demise, while it is again both hostile and fearful of what is being exposed about it. And you have what is very foolish and psychotic to provide such evidence against yourself. That's engineered light appearing on the ceiling. That while demons are pacing, not traffic, demons who are pacing. You know what else is supernatural about these demons? The amplified volume of their conduct in traffic is heard in the hotel room. Another demonstration of demon possession, whether they're commercially acting like Foothill Transit or they're demons that I document, for example, by license plate. Same condition, including the demons that are stalking sounding sirens. What is also shown to be supernatural is the presence of that which is not possibly the sun, as it is remaining over the venue where I am present at 8 o'clock in the morning and what is 6:28 to 6:39 in the evening. This is the direct evidence of what is the demonic, which is speaking to not only the condition, but also the criminal act of terrorism. This is domestic terrorism by the government that is maliciously acting with a population. It is the rendering illegitimate every business. And in other words, the commercial stalker, as I've referred to them, anybody delivering packages, anybody delivering food, anybody owning or operating a grocery store, as TOWNEPLACE Suites by Marriott is demonstrating, running a hotel, and running an apartment complex, as you saw at Alvarado Gardens. Avalon Bay is the same exact thing. It's just a different name. It's the same criminal system, and the demon possessed are concentrating presence here. It's not traffic. It's demonic presence, relevant positioning. And the demons sought to engage in sounding sirens, which is a communication of a threat. And it is in conformity to an ongoing pattern of conduct, which I continue to document moment by moment. Okay. And so the entity is doing so at what is, again, with knowledge of what I'm doing as I'm doing it. This is the foolish pattern of conduct by psychopaths who do not have any just or reasonable basis to question their permanent removal from all the areas where they pose a threat to the public. No demon, a part of the Monrovia Police Department, has any basis to question anything that they're going to be subject to, while they, with generosity, provide evidence of their demon possession and criminal engagement in federal group stalking and monitoring today. And then will want to perhaps give some sort of statement publicly as to how they're perplexed about what they're being prosecuted for, while they act in conformity to a pattern of conduct and went out of their way to demonstrate the fact that they are demon possessed. While that pattern of conduct is underway, while you are present, any aspect of that department is present, which is not ignorantly or coincidentally done, where a pattern of conduct is underway in concert with the population that is also even isolated with regard to identifying the people of the state's criminal engagement in terrorism, conspiring to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen, by the way. Because you are acting with the government that has engaged in repeated acts of kidnapping, repeated efforts to try to criminally defame a legally trained, I'm a lawyer, I know the law. I can clearly articulate even on my own behalf. So how does the demon-possessed entity that's engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring to murder and or criminally defame you, how do they accomplish it? By just putting you in the uniform and keeping you silent. Making up the fact that they had court hearings, making up the contents, the substance of said court hearings, driving you from the jail to the courthouse, but not ever letting you into an actual courtroom. And if they let you in a courtroom, they refuse to allow you the ability to speak for yourself, which as a licensed attorney, you can clearly do that. And that's because they are acting with malice. They know exactly what it is that you're capable of. They know who you are. That's why also the fake sun is over that courthouse. That's why the entity acts with clear disregard of the laws and rules that govern the way that that court is supposed to operate. That's why they engage in things such as calling on and claiming fictitious warrants where you don't even have probable cause. You're a stalker. Okay, when you're engaging in what is a conduct that is clearly in violation of constitutional rights that are in existence, which a licensed attorney is fully apprised of, you are intentionally keeping them silent and defaming them by putting them in a uniform and keeping them silent in order to kidnap them and just paint them as a crazy person, even if you cannot fully establish that they're a crazy person. So you put them in the uniform, you put them in the facility, you keep them out of court, you make up the information regarding the court, and then you create the prescription on paper, you create the relationship on paper. That's what you do. That's how you do that. Everybody engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring is a part of a conspiracy to murder and or permanently kidnap an American citizen. And there are a lot of people, a part of many departments, law enforcement agencies, they're going to federal prison. While I am showing you evidence of what is a scientific impossibility that the sun would ever be at the same address as I'm showing it out the window of the hallway on the 4th floor facing Huntington and Myrtle at 8:24 in the morning. And you can see the light source, not only the light source, but you also see, not just the light source, but you also see the engineered light. Where the entity is, excuse me, let me go back so you can see that light activity again. This is a substantial video documentation that I captured, a lot of light activity in here in this video. And the entity is, yeah, that's light activity that's appearing, and that's directly tailored, that's tethered to what the people of the state are and what they're doing. And there's also an ongoing pattern of conduct, which is establishing the fact that this is no ordinary stalking surveillance system, not only based on the fact that it's the government that's acting through an agency that exists through the constituents of the state and the government, but also because it's demonic at its core. This is a demon-possessed population that's engaging in what is a criminal agency in concert and on behalf of the government. You're going to federal prison for that. And if you were ignorant about how serious group stalking is, if you're just a demon that likes to engage in, tormenting a little bit here and there and then going off to get your Starbucks latte, group stalking with Starbucks, and then going on with the rest of your day, going on a swimming class and picking up your kids from daycare, okay, while being a terrorist in California. The entity is, you need to be aware of the fact that you're going to be prosecuted for conspiring against an American citizen to murder and or kidnap them while you are group stalking them, which does not require my personal identification of your name. All I have to do is document, because this is a criminal act committed by the government. And this is why terrorism in the state of California is something that you should tread lightly on, because it is not some random act just because you want to serve Satan. Whether or not you recognize that you're demon possessed is not legally relevant. This is not based on your demon possession, which, by the way, the evidence establishes it. You're a demon and you're group stalking. And the evidence supports the fact that you are criminally and maliciously engaging in surveillance with the government that's provided a whole body of evidence against itself and you. The population, if you'll recall, the population is the one that's group stalking in the specific environment with engineered light. So let's revisit what the entity is doing amongst engineered light. It is not distinct while I'm at yet another venue where the pattern of conduct by the state is underway. Let's recall what the entity is doing while I am at the, actually I have substantial video reminding you about, I have several videos, but we've got the pattern of conduct as I am in the shade, meaning it doesn't disappear under the shade of the. The entity is maintaining what is, oh no, that's a good video, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. The entity is engaging in group stalking by while I'm at Alvarado Gardens, while they're molesting with engineered light the population. While I'm at the DMV office, 7 FFD 131, 7233, 356, I believe, substantially similar. Nonetheless, I'm documenting the people that say this is a population. I don't have to know any of these demons' names. Their pattern of conduct is readily identifiable. Not only is the light source directly over me while I'm at the intersection of 8th Street and Columbia, and this is captured at what is 10:28 in the morning. At 10:28 in the morning, I'm here in Monrovia. The fake sun is over the hotel at 10 o'clock. It did not go anywhere, as you clearly know that. I remained here, and so that's why the fake sun is still here after 7 p.m., where demons are providing an admission regarding all the ways in which the state's going to be prosecuted for terrorism, while a pattern of conduct is acted in conformity to, which no pattern of conduct is ignorantly complied with or conformed to. Okay, that's why no police department has any legal argument, no entity within the people of the state. You don't have a constitutional basis. You don't have a constitutional protection to stand on. Okay, the entity is acting maliciously. This is the ability to prosecute the bully that seeks to silence and oppress you. Okay, and doing it through a population who does not even need to know your name, by the way, and is gratified. This is that mental illness, gratified through targeting you for no legitimate, logical, lawful purpose whatsoever. The entity is engaging in this while I capture video showing the pattern of conduct by a population. If you'll recall the documentation, so I'm going to skim through this and see, because I do a lot of discussion, as you can hear. I do provide a lot of analysis. I'm not just speaking because I like to hear my voice. I'm giving analysis. I always have to remind you, don't forget that you saw the light source at this time. The light source is still here. Don't forget about that light activity and who you just heard sounding sirens. Don't forget about the fact that the entity was crossing paths with minor children. That's what that was while you're looking at this light show in the hallway. That's what I'm doing, because you always have to, for whatever reason, I always have to make sure that I'm the one that's helping you connect the dots yourself, because it's not separate. It's all connected. It is a pattern of conduct. I'm providing consistent analysis while showing you the evidence, which speaks for itself. Now, when I'm giving you a structure where you're able to recognize this is the pattern, they're doing this again, look at who's there, a different face, same phenomenon, it's a P.O.C., you're able to watch it without my, you can watch the videos on mute, and you will recognize the pattern of conduct that's shared by a government, by a state, everywhere that I go. So the entity is doing so I'm going to zoom through this video, see if I can get to the light activity that I captured at the top. The top is captured on in March of 2021. I'm just walking down the street, and you have being molested with engineer light, as though light ricochets off of your cars while you're driving down the street. That's an impossible occurrence. That's not sunlight. It is the pattern of conduct, however, where those of a specific condition are engaging in what is readily identifiable as actually what is stalking. That's where the phenomenon plays its part, and you're able to recognize what is actually going on. The demon-possessed entity wants to appear as they're a distant, disconnected, disinterested stranger who's minding their business well within their privacy rights under the Constitution, protected while they're driving down the street. That's the malice of the government that's group stalking you. That is in service to Satan as well, employing things such as witchcraft, things of the demonic, literally calling on the works of Satan in order to target you in ways that the ordinary person cannot readily identify. You can't prove it in court, in other words. The fact that they're casting spells, the fact that they're using witchcraft, the fact that they're engaging in demonic sacrifices of American citizens, the government and the people of the state. That's what group stalking is about. Okay, and it is the work of the demonic. That's the malice. The entity has resorted to things such as witchcraft and demon possession, demonic activity, dark spirits, in order to engage in very highly malicious and deceptive criminal conduct that's targeting a person. And you're doing so through that method because you are engaging in what is a grandiose sacrifice of an American citizen. That's the government's criminal system. The government is practicing demonic activity, okay? And witchcraft is at its core. That which is of Satan, it's demonic, is at its core, and they're all of an identical condition. And while you like to employ children in that, it will be prosecuted with regard to my status, my location, the type of venue that I'm at, your knowledge, which is also shown through your pattern of conduct, what the knowledge you maintain while you're, let me be clear, while you're utilizing witchcraft, while you're engaging in what is conduct of the demonic and wanting everyone else in the world, relying on not only your ignorance about the specific environment and the demonic behavioral patterns, but also relying on the fact that you will focus only on the carnal. In other words, I don't know this third party with license plate 7FFD131. Therefore, there's no possible way that group stalking is underway. And that requires, first of all, a lack of understanding regarding the ordinary target individual's position and contention regarding what group stalking is, and it has nothing to do with whether you know the entity or not. And second of all, you're dealing with the demonic, and so it is relevant for educational purposes. You're dealing with the demonic. Satan knows who you are. Satan is using people. Satan is also capable of being recognized in the demonic environment, i.e. a fake sun that's over a hotel building from 8:24 in the morning until 6:28, 6:39 in the evening. That's how you're recognizing it. Engineer light, that is not sunlight. Moving all about the ceilings, all over the walls, while you're looking at what's not separate, it's directly there. It's in the same video at the same location. You're looking at the people of the state. You're given greater context. That's not ordinary presence. That's not traffic. Those are demons who are pacing. They're monitoring. They're stalking. And they're doing it as an agent of the state. The same stalker that uses helicopters, planes, and as you heard, sirens, which is audible activity. What the demons are doing in the environment is significant, not only spiritually significant, as they're engaging in ritualistic conduct as an entity. They're engaging in what is methods of targeting someone, seeking to psychologically torment them, okay? Trying to drain the energy of someone, trying to psychologically deconstruct them and their identity, their desire to live, their desire to survive. This is what Satan desires. Satan is using a government to do this, and they intend to sacrifice you if you don't take your own life. They can take your life. They do. There's no random act. It's not random. The entity engages in homicide by entity while engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring, and I have seen it on the news, except that the federal government is not yet engaging in, does not have knowledge of the fact that this is what the state governments are engaging in. And I'm recognizing the pattern of conduct is underway while American citizens are being killed by terrorist organizations who are representing themselves as law enforcement agencies, even being summoned by the victims whose lives they are taking while they are being placed under surveillance. This demonic system of group stalking is underway. It's not random at all. So this is relevant to what the entity is doing. And so this is the population. Again, not only is the pattern of conduct shown by the state, not only is the pattern of conduct establishing what the people of the state are doing with that state. They are tethered together while they're in that demonic environment. And the people of the state themselves, as I have isolated such demon possession of the people themselves, even separating them from the demons who make up the government. I've isolated, in other words, both aspects of the entity. The people of the state are demon possessed, and the government itself is demon possessed. And they've also exhibited that. This is through being molested with engineer light. While a fake sun is over me, there's no helicopter here. Okay, there's no police vehicles here. This is not demon possession that's going to be isolated just to the state. This is not stalking that's just isolated to the state. The people of the state are maintaining a criminal agency. It's vicarious activity on behalf of the government. And it is straight out of hell. It will be prosecuted as terrorism. So the entity is doing so.
While I'm at Alvarado Gardens, the Social Security represents the
to see, I'm going to show the engineer light. So I do have some discussion here. Just want to get to the part where I'm showing the actual crossing of path and the molestation with engineered light. So, oh, I think I'm showing it on the bottom here.
This is P.O.C. I want you to see what the people of the state are doing while the fake sun is over me and I'm walking in the shade. And the video at the top in 2021, the fake sun is over me and I'm walking in the shade. The demons that are group stalking, supplementing light, molesting my person, demonstrating demon possession. All of this is legally relevant with regard to the prosecution of the people of the state. The criminal co-conspirator with the government that is keeping you under surveillance, both in relevant position, group stalking you, and also on the venue of the internet in violation of Title 18, 22618, subsections 1 and 2. SOG 698. This is the sex offense by the population crossing path and engineer light moving across my person. EB 763.
It's moving across the sidewalk.
So you're going to pay attention to the sidewalk because it's engineer light, orange colored light is moving not only across the sidewalk, but also across the walls. It's rising up on the walls. So that's where you're paying attention. And it's subtle, and it's also, you'll see it as the vehicles are driving by. And that's impossible light activity. This is entirely demonic, and it's prosecution for terrorism. And the government building, the government, that is the group stalker, the Social Security Administration, which is nothing other than a specific actor. They are doing what the whole government, the whole state is doing. That's all that's relevant with regard to going to the Social Security office, being subject to the pattern of conduct. Now you're going to prosecute and you're going to federal prison where you're bearing weapons.
Alrighty, I just want to get through. I'm giving more analysis here. I want to get to the video so you can see it. Here we go.
Buildings that are under the fake sun that's over the Social Security office engaging the pattern of molesting with engineer light. 8VDM 937 7WJU 651 7SIK 112 and crossing path in that environment. Okay, the same. And by the way, blackface minions. 8KHP002 P.O.C. 8WZN 353. And the fake sun's over the Social Security office and molesting with engineer light is P.O.C. and it's also a sex offense and via direct light. This is what the entity is doing across buildings when they're on the property of Alvarado Gardens. This is supplementing for the absence of light. It's the outward demonstration of demon possession, and it's a heavily documented pattern of conduct by the population. 6SVN 213 P.O.C. Everybody in the Social Security office is group stalking. This is terrorism. Hi, P.O.C. So that engineer light was rising all the way up to my face. It was rising. It goes across the sidewalk and it rises onto the wall, and it was going all the way up to my face. So you have one sex offender after another. So understand, traffic is a systematic means of surveillance and group stalking, and thousands of people.
And that's what's going on at Myrtle and Huntington while I'm in a hotel room. And I also captured on video engineered light that appeared on the bedroom wall. I showed you the light show, the engineered light that was filling on the walls in the hallways while I captured the fake sun in the hallway at 8:24 in the morning the other day. The entity is maintaining this engineered light, as I showed you, on the exterior of the hotel building, where you're looking at the shape of the windows appearing on the outside. But then remember, when I'm on the inside, you can see the shape of the windows appearing on the floor. You're looking at the engineered light that was on the interior on the wall of my hotel wall at my hotel room, and this is after 6 p.m. So the entity is engaging in conduct as though sunlight ricochets both off of the surface of the window, creating the shape of the window on the outside of the building, and then it's also piercing through horizontally through the said windows, and the appearance of those windows, the shape of those windows are appearing inside. That's not sunlight. And the demons are engaged in surveillance. This is not traffic. And I'm reminding you about, this is some very vivid illustration of what is engineered light. In this video, I thought I did a lot more analysis here, and I want to see if I reviewed the video, because a lot of times I like to go through the video, and I like to do a rewind, a slow motion even, because I want you to see that light activity. You can never unsee it, okay? And you're looking at what's a population that's engaging in a pattern. It's never a natural occurrence that there are no cars that we are currently driving that are sold that shoot light off of their cars while you're driving. It literally on the fake sun is above us. So at what point is sunlight ricocheting horizontally off of your car doors? All right, that's called targeting with light. Those are demons who know who you are, and they're stalking. And that targeted conduct is showing the fact that they're stalking, and it's also evidence of their demon possession. This is the malice of the population that's group stalking. Such demons are driving, maintaining presence outside of a hotel room. That's, first of all, very creepy, and it's sexual violence by a population. You also know that because the fake sun is here. You also know that because the state is stalking in the specific environment. All of that is evidence prosecuting the people of the state. So then you get down to, the people of the state think that they can hide as employees at the venue, federal prison. The people of the state engage in massive surveillance, filling all of the hotel rooms at the venue. You're talking about massive prosecution, facts and circumstances worthy of federal prison. Yeah. Okay, you're talking about being an employer, a third-party employer, employing the target individual so that you could terrorize them on a daily and then threaten their employment if they document the government, because they want to hide as though they're exercising a privacy right, a legitimate business, and they're not. You're going to federal prison for that. So you're understanding the malice of the entity. Every building around the banks, the gas stations, the car washes, the businesses surrounding the apartment building, Avalon Bay, all up and down the street, every parking lot, those that are coming, engaging in landscaping on the street, the demons that are pacing in the emergency vehicles, the air traffic, all of it is methods of maintaining presence. It's a demon-possessed population. It is rooted in the practice of witchcraft, demonic activity. This is demon possession. While the state of California practices these methods to sacrifice an American citizen, which they are doing, relying upon the carnal. They're relying on your ignorance about their condition, about the environment, about their behavioral patterns, and they're also then maliciously acting as though they have, for example, the authority to quote unquote investigate what is a death that is literally brought about, inspired by the demonic. So you're engaging in what is sacrificing someone. And I'm using the term sacrifice because it is that which they are doing in service of Satan, to Satan. They are doing so while it is in the natural examined as, and the entity controls the narrative, whereby they're stating, oh, we have to, conduct an investigation. We have to determine the cause of death. This entity that's creating this narrative, they're the ones that are group stalking you. And they are relying upon your ignorance about their condition, about their demonic methods of maliciously targeting someone, sacrificing people, and then relying upon your ignorance of all of that. And while they're hoping that you remain focused on the carnal, the fact that the police department themselves have never arrested the targeted individual, this specific police department or whatever, they've never had an encounter with them. They don't know the person personally. They didn't commit any crime, perhaps. They were found by themselves unalived. Okay, they can create the narrative whereby they were emotionally disturbed for a long time, and they isolated themselves, and we were really worried about. We love her though; she's so gifted, so talented. She's going to be really missed. This is the entity that will wear badges. They're group stalking, targeting you, acting to sacrifice you as an entity. Will hold a press conference and say, we're holding an investigation, and we will, to the furthest extent of every ability that we have, extend all of our resources in order to get to the bottom of this. The community deserves it. The community is group stalking with them. This is Satan that is putting on his high-level deceptive face, mask, in other words, while they are engaging in a full throttle system in the state of California. That is not a conspiracy theory. That's the pattern of conduct. So this is also shown through what is engineer light that's moving across the sidewalk. As you can see at the top, you're looking at, again, in 2021, I'm in an entirely different region. Same phenomenon where the entity wants to focus on the natural. There's no group stalking. I don't know the targeted individual. They're a paranoid schizophrenic. What are they talking about? Police stalking them? We don't even know. What are you talking about? Do you need help? Do you need assistance? We're going to call the behavioral department, mental health. We're going to call them while they're group stalking. Look at this engineer light that's captured in Ontario, California. This is the same entity. I'm in a totally different region, however. You see the same exact pattern of conduct. The demon possessed, the motive here, the objective is to maintain the lit environment. I'm walking in the shade. The demon possessed who are stalking you everywhere that you go. They're of that same condition. This is how you have strangers engaging in demonic behavior, because the entity, the population, is demon possessed. This is witchcraft. This is demon possession. This is demonic activity, seeking to sacrifice a person. And it's the government doing it. That's how you capture this light activity that you see at the top.
All right, that's the pattern of conduct
Let me rewind that so you can see it again.
Okay, so this is the pattern of conduct as I'm walking in the shade, supplementing for the shade, for the lack of light, if you will, and doing so while you are necessarily molesting me. You're a stalker. You don't have any consent to touch me with anything. No extension of your person, nor with engineer light that's not even naturally occurring, all because you are a demon who is obsessively stalking me. You will be prosecuted as the exceedingly violent sex offender that you are. That's exactly what you are, because that's what you're doing. Okay, you're prosecuting the predatory and sexually motivated mindset. Okay, so this is the P.O.C. while I am walking on the sidewalk in an entirely different location. License 8416982. That's a sex offender going out. That's Satan going out of its way to touch me. That's a green Ford truck. While the demons know that
I'm documenting while I'm currently in LA. That's why I'm reading a license plate. I'm in the vehicle. I'm still subject to the pattern of conduct while I'm providing evidence, showing you the analysis whereby you're prosecuting an entity that is demon possessed and is group stalking. This is state surveillance, and it is of the demonic. That's why I read that license plate.
Exposing them, and that third party is going to be added to the people of the state that are going to be prosecuted. This is the psychotic conduct. This represents, let me be clear, speaker companies, the entity that's composing an employee warning notice. That's why she's going to federal prison. And like I said, they engage in this conduct as though you're driving off. You're not getting away with anything. This spirit is what is animating the demons that are speaker companies. It's the same demon possessions, the same criminal conduct, and that impunity is going on the account of those who are under no circumstances anonymous. Okay, so Heather Till's going to federal prison, a sex offender, masquerading as an HR director, and she is molesting my person because she's hostile because I'm exposing her as the sex offender that she is. While this third party with that license plate acts in concert with her. And I'm showing you, I'm substantiating it by the population's pattern of conduct. Look at this video while I'm inside of, I'm walking on the shade, and this population is engaging in the same P.O.C.
All right, and I'm capturing again this video.
While I am walking in on the sidewalk.
This video that I captured is showing the evidence of terrorism via directed light, molestation via directed light. This is the same directed light that you see on my hotel wall this evening in the video where I'm showing the maintenance of a light source, which is not the sun, and then you could see the flashing of light. This is a show of hostility. It's the same thing analogous to the amplification. That's a show of hostility. It's a demonic occurrence as well. It's relevant for the prosecution for terrorism that the entity is going to be subject to while the entity is terrorizing you, while group stalking you, keeping you under surveillance, and then regularly and repeatedly and consistently without regard for your right to not be subject to it, while mindful. And while you are engaging in such acts of hostility, you are inherently aware of what's being documented about your criminal conduct. Willfully and with specific knowledge, the demon-possessed engage in documented acts of terrorism while they engage in and maintain presence, the elements of monitoring, while engineer light, terrorism via directed light, and also terrorism via amplification of audible activity, and while they are doing so on behalf of the government. Well, the entity is doing so while I am inside of the hallway. That's exactly what you see filling the hallway of this hotel. This is what the entity is doing while I'm walking on the sidewalk. This video at the top is captured in 2021. I've been documenting the pattern of conduct, as I stated, for years. It is impossible to have anything less than a pattern of conduct where it's being demonstrated by the population. I've gone from Los Angeles at the Alvarado Gardens Apartments, which is nothing other than an example of showing what the entire state of California is practicing. Anywhere that I go, the entity is maintaining relevant positioning, light activity, and audible activity creation. The entity engages in a pattern of criminally threatening, intimidating for the criminal purpose of seeking to obstruct justice while it's engaging in Title 18, Section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2. You're engaged in federal stalking online, utilizing communication devices as an entity, and the entity engages in criminal acts of obstruction of justice. More engagement in that terrorizing system while you are aware of the fact that I am either speaking to it, making commentary while you're keeping me under surveillance wherever I'm at, or while I'm online publishing it, for example, inside of my hotel room and creating a podcast. You heard the engines roaring inside of the hotel room. That was witnessing the demonic. It's impossible audible activity. Those are the same demons that cross path and terrorize me with directed light. Those are the same demons that are driving under a light source that is not possibly the sun. Those are the same demons that are at the same location, the same venue, with the demons that are the state of California. The use of sirens and helicopters and airplanes is the direct evidence against the people of the state. All right. So this is what the entity is engaging in. And I just wanted to show that video so that you are aware of what it is that you are looking at. And that is while I'm maintaining presence at the same venue and I'm at the I've shown the fake sun over me at all vantage points. So what you see here, rendering 2, this is the exit where I'm showing you engineered light that's inside of this lobby. There's no sun that's going to reach underneath this covering right here. Only the fake sun and engineered light reaches underneath this covering, which is what I captured on video. Everyone in that environment is group stalking. In addition to that, the entity that is maintaining let me show you what I also captured. Not only did I capture the fake sun over me at this parking lot on the side of what is the rendering 2, this is the side where I'm showing at 7. And remember, I'm on this side of the hotel at 9 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Fake sun is directly over my head. I captured video today, which is not the first time. But again, on another day, 6:28 p.m. to 6:39 p.m., the fake sun is seen literally the object itself through my window of this hotel on the 4th floor. It's right here where I'm tapping. That's the window I'm looking out of. And the fake sun, which is seen at the same location. It's the same location at 6:28 p.m., which is and 7 p.m. That's non-movement. This is the hotel building itself. This is the hotel building itself. This is not a gigantic structure. The building is at the corner of Myrtle and Huntington. And this is the entity that's maintaining a light source that is not possibly the sun while you're looking at it. And this is Huntington Drive, as you can see here. And this is the Myrtle. Let me see the aerial site view. Yeah, that's the entrance canopy. This is Huntington. And then I'm trying to see where's the Myrtle intersection. Yeah, I believe this is the Myrtle intersection here. This is the same. I want you to see the building itself, though. It's literally occupying the corner. This is the building itself. So you're talking about this building here, 5 stories, 109 units, and the fake sun is present at one address as I'm showing it through the window of the hallway on this side. And while I'm showing it facing the Myrtle on facing the street. This is the entity that's keeping a fake sun for the duration of the day. And this is after 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. That's the P.O.C. That's not the natural environment. And it is the direct evidence of that which government and a people do not want you to know. And remember, everything that is incorporated with that knowledge of demon possession, this is within the pattern of conduct as well. You have a spirit, a practice of sexual violence, a psychopath, a closeted psychopath that is currently in custody, exercising control and influence over minor children, which you saw the people of the state employ to engage in a sex offense. Monitoring someone inside of a private space is a sex offense committed by a public entity and a company, TOWNEPLACE Suites by Marriott. All right, and that's the people of the state. They're also sex offenders. Like I said, they like to watch you on the dark web while they place cameras inside of wherever it is that you live, watching you on the dark web. That's a sex offender. And then they're also targeting you as a demon-possessed entity. Demons that know what you're doing when you put your hand in your pocket and you move your index finger around. Satan knows that you're moving your finger. That's how Satan is able to stalk with audible activity creation. Satan is also readily identifiable. While that which is not the sun, it's a light object, a light source, a fake sun that remains over a hotel building for an excess of 11 hours. That's also how you know that that's a demon. And it makes up what is a population of demons, acting in conformity to a pattern of conduct, who are stalking amongst engineered light while they do things such as drive past me. And I'm showing a comparison amongst 2 different populations. The bottom is in Los Angeles County. The top is in San Bernardino County. This is captured in 2021 in San Bernardino County. This is captured in 2024 in Los Angeles County. And it's the same pattern of conduct. It's the same entity. It is the P.O.C. The entity providing evidence against the people of the state, sounding sirens with knowledge of what I'm documenting. The demons are engaged in ongoing harassment as an entity, committing an ongoing sex offense. What I do is I document while the entity engages in ongoing acts of harassment. The demons that are hostile because they're being documented as psychopath, demon-possessed group stalkers, showing their mental illness. Who in their right mind would be mad because you're enforcing your right against not being stalked and sexually violated? That's a mental illness that creates a public safety concern. The population is filled with this mental illness that Satan does not want you to know about. They have custody of children. These are the ones that are on the news, engaging in acts of violence, engaging in criminal activity, and there's no explanation behind what prompts it. What's the inspiration? They're not ordinary, normal people. It's not just a bad day. It's not just a bad season. This is what the people of the state engage in. Okay, this is the people of the state. So nonetheless, it is currently 8:04 p.m. This is the P.O.C. and I'm going to digress here. I'm going to upload the video that I captured onto the podcast. And like I said, unless I stated, because I captured video earlier and the entity that's monitoring is aware of that. And that's why they foolishly provided more evidence of criminal summoning. It's really sad. But nonetheless, I captured video earlier and I stated that. So if I'm stating it again, that's why, because I captured video and I might have already stated, and if I did not, I'm going to state here, I'm going to upload the video that I captured onto my podcast. So that's why if in a podcast you're ever hearing me reference, look at this, look at that, it's because I've uploaded a video for audible witnessing of the P.O.C. because obviously when I'm recording a podcast, I know that you are listening to me and you cannot see anything. So I'm aware of that, and I'm pointing out the fact that there's additional evidence that you can witness and observe yourself with regard to video and or images where you can look at what it is that I'm referencing. Okay. Again, it's 8:05 p.m. on Saturday, July 27, 2024. This is P.O.C. And I just want to be clear. Let's go ahead and get it on the record again. Who is being exposed? Who is going to be prosecuted for federal group stalking and monitoring? The people of the state that are staying at the hotel, the people of the state that surround the hotel are engaged in criminal surveillance of a highly malicious nature. This is the criminal conduct that's practiced by the state of California. And the entity is doing so with also, it's relevant, with real-time knowledge of the fact that they're being documented, that in other words, an American citizen seeks to enforce their rights. And this is, again, third-party facilitating venue TOWNEPLACE Suites by Marriott in Monrovia. This is for prosecution of that they are the people of the state and not a legitimate business is in operation. It's facilitating the domestic terrorism. This is P.O.C.